Joey got the popcorn ready. Alex got the notes in hand. Tim's got puns that fly like confetti. They're your go-to movie band. Video game movie club. Laugh until the credits roll. Joey Alex, Tim will dub. Scenes that make you lose control.
Nearly forgot to press the live button when I started that and I panicked briefly. These episodes always start the same with some technical fuck up by one of us idiots. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
I feel really, really unfairly categorised in that.
Tell
me,
I'm
Joey,
wrong.
how did the first few episodes of this whole podcast begin?
Yeah, but we've done so many since then, and the technical fuck-ups have they've diminished. They've not gone.
I will admit the majority of the technical fuck-ups on Riverside seem to mainly come from me and Tim not knowing how buttons work. But here we are.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about us being inept. We're here to talk about cutscenes. Our little series where we take movies, TV shows, animes and such based on video games and 9 times out of 10 be thoroughly disappointed in them. I'm joined, as always, by the brothers Tim.
Alex has a cold, if you can't tell.
And the over is called Joey.
Not quite over my cold, but much more over my cold than you are.
Well, you sound significantly less sexy than you usually do.
Well, actually, if you'll do part of exploration, it's you.
I recorded a DLC last night to really date this. I recorded it and released it on the same day for Crush Depth, and I listened back while I was editing, and I just was like, God, some people sound so sexy when they've got a cold. I just sound like a fucking mess. Hello.
Hello, my name's Joey.
I'm here to talk about Crush Depth.
Yeah, and just to date the episode further, it is the dead of winter, and everyone's getting ill at the moment.
Alex,
I think all
what are
three
we
of us have
talking
been ill
about
in
this
space for a
episode?
week.
You're desperate to get into it, Tim.
Oh, I'm just thinking about his health.
Why are you thinking about his health?
It's fine. Listen,
It's
I'm going to
Christmas.
die soon anyway, it's fine.
Hold on. This is important. Alex, your mug is fantastic.
Thank you. I have a mug that is just a picture of Excel and it says, focus, ooh. Same sheet, different day.
That's
That's
fantastic.
good. What I really liked about it is when you held it up to the camera and your virtual background thought it was just appropriate to flash Sam Fisher looking angry at us.
And that is the perfect segue to what we're talking about. We're here
Is it the
today
perfect
to talk...
It was a segue.
It's perfect by our standards.
It's run out of batteries, it's crawling along, but it is what it is.
It's a Roomba that's stuck under the sofa.
Have you ever seen pictures of Roombas people have in their house when they go through dog shit and it just smears it down that
So
hallway?
funny.
Awful.
Oh, it's
They've
good,
just
it's
got like
funny.
this really nice like white lino floor, and it's like you can tell that it's meant to be like pure white or like marble effect, and it is just smeared top to bottom in shit.
It's so funny.
It's like the dog had worms.
God. Wow.
Shall we just talk about Roombas for an hour?
Have you ever seen the thing? Because you know they map your room.
Oh, you're
That wasn't
serious
a real
about
question,
doing
Joey.
this? Okay.
Well, no, but like just while we're on it, they map your room and they give you like a map of where it's cleaned.
Yeah.
There's a picture I saw, and this guy, his Roomba had mapped out of his daughter's bedroom this enormous secret room that was in his house that he had no idea existed. How fucking creepy is that?
That's bizarre.
Let me see if I can dig it out.
Alright.
The question is though, if you found that out on your Roomba map, would you go and look?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. It's the right
Yeah, of
answer,
course you
Joey.
would. Yeah, of course. There was an episode of Grand Designs that the person bought a flat in London and they thought it was a tiny little ground floor flat, but then they went behind and found a secret door that went down 5 stories and it had like Roman baths and shit in it, and they just like built this enormous mansion that went underground in London.
You are really showing your age by talking about Grand Designs here,
I
Joey.
love Grand Designs.
I like Splinter Cell.
I don't.
Tim's really keen to get into this, aren't you, Tim?
We're talking about fucking grand designs and rumours on cutscenes. What do you want from me?
Right. Okay, yeah, let's get into it then. So, in case you can't tell, we're here to talk about grand designs. No, we're not. We're talking about 2020.
Kevin MacLeod likes to find a family who have a grand plan for a house that they're going to build.
Anyway, we're talking about 2025's Netflix series, Splinter Cell Deathwatch. It is a animated series based on the Splinter Cell games, in case you couldn't tell. It released about 3 months ago at time of recording, so this might be the most recent cutscenes we've done to date.
Shy of FNAF 2.
Oh, we did FNAF 2, didn't we, about a week after it came out? Second most
No.
recent.
Cutscenes, yes. It's not the most recent episode, though.
That's what I mean, second most recent cutscenes. So, a day after it premiered, October 14th, it got greenlit for a second season, so watch out for that in a future episode. It's produced by Ubisoft Film and Television, who famously do crap because they also did the Assassin's Creed movie that we talked about last year.
Oh yeah, when Matthew McConaughey gets slammed into the floor by a machine and it keeps going.
That's the one. Animation was primarily provided by Fost Studio, who I've never heard of. I had a little look. They're a French studio. Seemingly they primarily do like children's animated TV shows with a very sort of storybook pencil drawing look to them, so this is a huge change of pace.
This must be cathartic for the animators.
I spent 10 years drawing children's books. Let's punch someone's teeth out.
Yeah.
Just they're furiously scribbling. It's favoured fairly well. 86% on Rotten Tomatoes and 70% on Metacritic, which seems like quite a big difference, but here we are. It was actually originally announced in 2020. Ubisoft announced that they were working on this, and for some reason something stopped production for 2 or 3 years. Don't know what could have happened in 2020 to do that, but it is what it is. Not a sausage.
Probably.
So it was written and directed by Derek Kolstad, who's best known as the creator of the John Wick franchise. And what he said he wanted to do was do a series with an older Sam Fisher where the games are canon to the story. And he wanted to really get the feel of the games, because we'll talk about it in a bit, but for those who've played the Splinter Cell series, it's a lot of very quiet moments followed by very loud action scenes, and a lot of that shows in this series. I'll be honest, I don't recognise any of the names in it.
Liv Schreiber,
Voice
Alex...
Fisher
voice actors,
in
you
the game.
voice actors, you moron.
Liv Schreiber is quite a famous actor. Alex Lee's quite a prolific voice actor.
He's quite prolific in anime, isn't he?
He is, and he also does a lot of video game stuff, like he's Luke from Street Fighter.
Ah, right, okay.
That's where I primarily know him from, but he has been in a few things that I've seen him in.
We've also got Kirby Hell-Baptiste as Zinnia McKenna, Janet Varney as Commander Grimm of the 4th Echelon, Helen Hong as Joanne, Joel Ouellette as Thunder, Carrie Walgren, who I feel like I know that name, Kif Vander Hoovel, which might be the best name I've ever heard,
Kif Vander Hoovel,
Belladane, Navid Negaban, and JB Blank, who again, I feel like I know that name.
You're thinking of Jack Black.
I'm thinking of, Jack Black as Diana's personal assistant. Could you imagine?
That's why I kept thinking about Peaches.
Yeah. And being incredibly annoying.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so I'll quickly run through the synopsis. It is only 8 episodes, so it's not the longest watch in the world. I think it totals about 3.5 hours.
There's one episode that's 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there?
Yeah, episode 7, which is like part 1 of a finale, is a 20-minute episode, including credits.
I don't really understand why they do that. If it's all because it was all released at once on Netflix. It wasn't episodic weekly releases.
No.
Why make one really short? Just do one really long one again.
Ooh, I can watch 2 things
but then
in the same evening.
A 7-episode anime series. Come on, don't be silly.
Cut out that runtime, Joey.
So, to
They
run
want to
through
take a
this...
leaf out of our book, Tim. They should talk about Rumbas and Grand Design.
They should have...
Smog goggles.
Tim, I beg your pardon.
You'll get it when you hear this.
you'll-
It's too
right.
British and Blighty.
I don't want to hear the next two blogs then. Right. A young Splinter Cell
I don't want to hear
agent...
it either.
Right. A young Splinter Cell agent, Zania McKenna, sneaks into a building in the middle of Lithuania to retrieve something referred to as the Shetland Files.
Alex,
However, while
what's
inside...
Splinter Cell?
Splinter
game.
Cell's a video
Carry
game.
on.
No, but what's the organisation Splinter Cell?
What do you mean,
said a
what's the
Splinter
Cells
organisation?
are splintered.
I'm the audience
Oh, right,
now.
they're a Black Ops organisation who do the contracts that no other organisation will take.
Wowee, they sound tough.
They are cool
Thank you.
guys.
Carry on.
However, I'm going to hurt you. However, while inside the building, she discovers the tortured dead body of Lucas, who we later learn was her former partner and lover. She removes a tooth from him because, that's a normal thing to do when you find a dead body. And then goes on just a little bit of a killing spree, murdering pretty much every single person in that building. However, during her escape, she is quite badly injured. While this is happening, the Fourth Echelon, who look after the Splinter Cell agents, is providing remote support, but they get shut down by a cyber attack, which is just perfect timing, really. Director Grimm of the Fourth Echelon sends Zinnia coordinates to flee to and orders her to go dark. She flees to Poland, where she finds a retired old Sam Fisher, the pivotal character of the games. Fun fact, while she was bleeding out doing this drive to Sam Fisher, it's 2.5 hours long to get to the border of Poland from where she was in Lithuania, so it's a hell of a go. However, she's unknowingly tracked by a mercenary group, but Sam Fisher handles them in the exact same way Sam Fisher always does, very quietly and very, very quickly. So Sam Fisher's safe house is now compromised, so as any smart person does, he burns it to the ground and runs away further. So they go further into Poland to Gdansk, which I learned is an actual city today. I thought it was just something out of Black Ops. I genuinely thought it was just the map in Warzone. I didn't realise it was an actual city.
That's Verdansk.
Well, close enough.
Not Gdansk.
Close enough.
Right, tell Poland now.
So again, it happens again for a second time where they're tracked by mercenaries and Sam has to deal with them.
Tim, I think Alex might be the first person in history to wage war on Poland.
That would be an unheard of thing, yes.
Yeah.
Let's just step away from that one. We learn here that the reason Zinnia's being tracked is because the tooth she holds is actually one half of a file that could bring down a big organisation. Meanwhile, Diana Shetland, we go over to her. She's the CEO of a private military corporation called Displace. The company has some changes of leadership when her half-brother Charlie becomes 21 and inherits his share of the company. The siblings basically tell the rest of the board of directors to do one. This is their company now, and they will not be told what to do. This is about the time where Wikipedia stops giving you episode synopses, because for some reason, only the first 3 episodes are listed on the Wikipedia page with descriptions. So the rest of this, straight out of the old grey matter. Right. So this is probably going to be all wrong, so feel free to tell me I'm wrong.
When did you watch this, Alex?
About 2 days ago, but I'm also very ill. We learn that the mercenary group who tortured and killed Zinnia's former partner Lucas is led by a man called Karimi, who's
He's
been
so
hired
Karimi.
by the... He's so Karimi. He's been hired... I didn't need that out in the air, but there we go. He's been hired by the Shetlands to retrieve what is being referred to as the Shetland Files. So one half of it is the tooth that Zinnia has. The second half is, we learn, is in a watch in Lucas's old safe house. Sam Fisher infiltrates this safe house, but it's already been searched by the mercenary group who are looking for the second half of this key. But Sam being Sam and having insider information, finds it first. Meanwhile, Fourth Echelon go out and hire a skilled hacker by the name of Thunder, who has been living his best life in the Canadian countryside, running an animal shelter, as all good hackers do. Where are we? When the watch and tooth are put together with some kind of frequency going through them, suddenly some little prongs pop out of the tooth, and it creates what is basically a weird zip file. They plug it in, and they find out that, they need a key to crack this encryption, which turns out being an 80s pop song. I can't remember what song it was, but it was an 80s pop song. And
I remember it. It goes,
what was it?
"We know strangers to love."
I thought you were going to give me the actual answer there.
So do I.
The annoying thing is, it's one of those really famous 80s pop songs that we all know, but the only song I've got going around in my head at the minute is Pump Up the Jam, and it's not Pump Up the Jam.
I would love to see Sam Fisher going, "Pump up the jam, pump it up."
What is this bullshit?
I'll find out what it was.
I tried, but I was having no luck. The idea of this is Lucas developed this key so that only him and Zinnia would know, because it's their couple song. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Eternal Flame by the Bangles.
That's the one. I'm not putting it in here because we don't want to get copyright struck. But Tim, can you give us a rendition?
No, I don't remember how it goes. Thank you, Joey.
Joey remembers.
We're going to get copyright striked off the back of that.
I watched this 2 days ago and I don't remember a lot of this stuff.
Well, fair enough. Well, we're only halfway through, Tim. Finally, we find out that there is another step to unlocking these files, which is you have to access them using the Shetlands phone. That's right, the incriminating documents to bring down the Shetlands can only be accessed by the Shetlands. So they infiltrate a celebration event that Diana's hosting for a project that we learn about called the Xanadu Project, which is, again, self-sustained, fully green-powered island out in the Baltic Sea somewhere. They do successfully make a clone of her phone, but in the process of doing that, Zinnia is found out and kidnapped by the brother Charlie. Fisher then goes to try and rescue Zinnia, but instead ends up running into Diana, and we learn a lot about their history Fisher has with Diana's father Douglas. They were military operatives together, and Sam shot him. Long story short, it was all about, doing it for the greater good and all this, and then bang. Meanwhile, Zinnia's being tortured by Karimi quite brutally, but then she manages to escape and kills him by giving him a face bath in a blacksmith's kiln. Quite a way to go, really. There's some cracking animation in that bit. Fourth Echelon then learn that the Shetlands are planning to commandeer a tanker carrying huge quantities of extremely explosive liquid hydrogen, with the intent of ploughing it into, I think it was either a German or a Russian power facility that basically, for some reason, powers the majority of mainland Europe. I don't know why you would have one facility to do all of that, but this is just the world we live in, I suppose.
I think there'll be people watching that believe that is the case as well.
I mean, most likely. But the idea that the Shetland, or Diana specifically, has with this is that by cutting all of the power supply to mainland Europe, they're going to create an energy crisis, and it's a crisis that the Xanadu Project is uniquely positioned to solve. I think we call that racketeering. So,
They're
Zinnia
going
and
to create
Fisher...
a cost of living crisis. Oh God, we're living it.
No, oh my God, are we living in the Deathwatch timeline?
We are.
Zinnia and Fisher are sent to the tanker to try and save it. While they get on the ship, and while Fisher's trying to gain control of it, Zinnia ends up running into the last living operative of Karimi's group, who is a sniper, assassin woman called Freya. She manages to beat her, but Freya pulls out the most baller move you can imagine by dropping a grenade at her feet.
Can I tell you my favourite thing about this whole synopsis?
Yep.
It's watching Tim's face as he doesn't remember anything.
Don't worry, Tim, we're almost there. We're almost there. To what is basically the last plot point of the movie now. The series.
The movie.
Diana is hosting a launch event / tour of Project Xanadu, She's got hundreds of world leaders, reporters, investors. Pretty much all of the money and power in Europe is on this one little island in the middle of the Baltic Sea. We cut back to 4th Echelon and find out that the tanker hasn't actually stopped. Instead, it's changing course and is being remotely controlled towards Xanadu. On Xanadu, Diana takes a call from her half-brother Charlie, who should have been at the party. He explains that he's happy watching the party from far away on his private boat. He also explains that he has no interest in running the company with her or in green energy. Instead, he's making a vie for power in mainland Europe. He sends the hydrogen tanker straight into Xanadu, killing all of the world leaders and creating this huge vacuum in power throughout Europe, which, from the looks of the last scene, he kind of fills. And that is the end of this.
Every time you said Xanadu, in my head, all I could hear was Agadoo.
Xanadu. That one.
But yeah.
Agadoo, do.
Xanadu, do. Crash the tanker, kill the world. Xanadu, do. Sam Fisher might also be dead. To the left, to the right. Rest of the episode in this tune. Alex, over to you. What are you going to do?
I'm
Good
not
work,
singing
Joey.
that fucking. I'm not singing like that. It's really
Splinter some necks, punch some terrorists in the face. Xanadu, crash a boat. There's a fucking power struggle in Europe. It doesn't work.
Jesus, right.
On a Call of
Gentlemen,
Duty
I've
map.
talked for enough now and I'm sick of the sound of my own voice. What are your experiences with the Splinter Cell franchise before this?
Limited.
I think I played it for about 10 minutes at someone else's house at a point after the tutorial, so all I could do was the splits on the top of a roof.
Yep.
Well,
That's about my experience with it as well on the DS.
Joey and I had a conversation about this the other night, and I'm very much of the opinion that there are two camps. You either played Splinter Cell or you played Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal Gear. Metal Gear for me.
Yeah, you two are firmly in the Metal Gear camp. I
We
was very
saw-
much in the Splinter Cell camp.
We heard Sam Fisher's very tight trousers going to splits and went,
Squeak, squeak.
what was that noise?
Whose footprints are these?
Up the walls.
Metal
So,
Gear.
I mean, it kind of makes most of the questions in this redundant anyway, but like I played a lot of Splinter Cell. I don't remember very much of it because we're talking 20 odd years ago at this point. But favourite scenes from the series?
Can I sum up my thoughts? Because I don't have a favourite scene, but I have a favourite episode. Right?
Go for it.
Episodes 1 through 7 were incredibly annoying to watch for me. But then and I'm not saying this is definitely the case or whatever, but to me, watching the animation, the leap in animation quality, go from episodes 1 through 7, and then watching episode 8, I feel like most of the budget, if not all of it, went into episode 8, because it was a significant jump in quality, both from a writing perspective, from an animation perspective, from a storytelling perspective. Episode 8 was really good, and episodes 1 through 7 were just non-sequitur stealth scene followed by vague puzzly stuff, followed by a trip across Europe, rinse and repeat for 7 episodes.
I think I saw on the Wikipedia article, and I might be wrong here, I can't be bothered to go and look. Episodes 1, 2 and 8 were all written by, what's his name, Kolstad.
Cole's dad.
Cole's dad.
Yeah, Cole's dad, yeah.
The guy from Mortal Kombat.
And then 3 through 7 were written by two people that weren't Kolstad. So I don't know if that's because obviously
Cole's two dads.
the first couple of episodes you can kind of forgive as being set up.
Sure, yeah, that's like pilot, that's establishing things if you weren't already familiar
Yeah.
with the Splinter Cell universe. I get it. But it just felt like this was a vague road trip across Europe, punching Germans in the face, and then more driving across Europe. There was a dog. That was cool.
For a bit.
For a bit. Kaiju the dog. And then episode 8 happened, and I'm not going to say a favourite scene, I'm going to say a favourite episode, because the episodes are about 20 to 25 minutes apiece. Yeah, episode 8 is obviously the best one.
Joey?
I don't know what this being an anime brought to the table. I think I understand that people like the format. And obviously I've made it very clear that anime is not my preferred format, so I am not the target audience here. However, it worked in the stealth scenes. The action scenes, I feel like whenever you see an anime that's made for adults and is a bit dark and moody, because of the nature of anime itself and having to be drawn or whatever they do, they can't get the speed that you want from an action sequence in something like Splinter Cell. So whilst, Tim, I agree episode 8 was the best episode, in all the explosions look so slow. Like, it's meant to be this frenetic, there's a boat crashing into the world leaders, boom, Sam Fisher's diving out of a submarine. Oh, that's cool. Will they make it? Probably not, but probably, because now there's a season 2. And while all of that's going on, I just thought I could have gone for a piss between this scene and that scene. It's not fast-paced enough for me to feel like it suits this genre. And that being said, my favourite thing about it was, for some reason, one of the animators clearly liked their football, because large parts of this just cel-shaded over the top of real football games and mentioned real players and their goals. And I was trying to find out what tournament it was based around, but I can't remember. And I remember in the first episode they were like, oh, De Bruyne scores this, and it was a real goal against Poland, and then everyone celebrated in Poland because Lewandowski got the equaliser. And I don't know why they were in there. I don't know what they added. They could have had a shot of the bad guys looking at telly and oh, they're distracted. Yeah. But no, they decided to leave in like 25 to 30 seconds at a time of real football footage that had been drawn over the top of it. It was weird, and I didn't enjoy it, Alex.
I think part of it was, as I mentioned at the start, the director was very intent on following the same sort of suit that the Splinter Cell games have, where it's long sequences of quiet peacefulness, like the 30 seconds of watching the football. Quite a sort of calm scene, followed by what was meant to be quite explosive, sudden action. Because every time there was a football match on the scene, the next scene that followed immediately after was all of those guards getting their heads staved in.
Yep.
Well,
and I think it would be more interesting for that 30 seconds to be security guards watching a match on the screen and then reacting to it than just a security guard sat flicking through security cameras.
I get that, but I just felt like they could have done something to make it feel like this was a living, breathing scene rather than watching highlights on YouTube. Yeah. It's really interesting to hear that it's written and directed by the guy behind John Wick, because when we met Kaiju the dog, I was like, that's exactly like John Wick.
Yeah. When you mentioned, Alex, that it's been greenlit for a season 2, I don't know if you guys noticed, I rolled my eyes a bit. And the reason for that is because I had this very distinct thought in episode 8, where they've got Charlie, played by Alex Lee. He's now in charge of this company that was there for the Xanadu project. His plan has worked, in effect. I was thinking, this is actually an interesting setup for season 2, for another season or whatever. And then just the very last thing that happens in the whole series is Sam Fisher just walks up to him and blows his head off with a gun. And it's like, okay,
does he?
I guess we're not doing a season 2. And now we are doing a season 2.
Do you not wish there's something about modern TV and cinema that you can't end on like a bad guy winning? There's been a few things recently that I've talked about where like they have to have this big thing of the guy you're rooting for winning at the end of it. Do you not think this would have been so much better if like Sam Fisher died or
just wasn't successful?
He's
been out of the game for years. Like he's going to be in. Like I get. Like he's a big buff guy and he's used to killing people or whatever, but he's been living on a farm in the middle of the fucking sticks of Poland, like for the last 10, 15 years. He's going to be rusty. I don't know. Yeah. Joey and I have both been in agreement that villains are far more interesting than heroes for the most part.
Yes.
And it's always, I think, like, whenever you see a film or a series or whatever where the villain wins at the end, you're always like, that's a good ending. That's a good ending. And this was just like, yeah, the villain won, but we can't let him really win, can we now?
I genuinely don't remember the scene of Sam Fisher killing Charlie.
Yeah, he's in the... It's after the funeral, and he goes, wait, oh my god, it's you. What are you doing with that gun?
Oh,
Don't
of
shoot
course,
me.
because he comes
Bang!
Of course, because he comes through the door and he puts his visor down and it does the noise that's quite synonymous with the game. Yeah, I'm with you.
That in itself is something that's like, Ubisoft has said, you can have the rights to this as long as you include this nod to the game.
Yeah.
And then, oh, fuck, it's the last episode and we forgot to do it. That kind of thing annoys me. And I think if you want to look at something that does that much better, is look at something like Fallout, the new series, and Series 1 actually. They're constant nods throughout, and you know what's coming as a fan, which is good and bad, because you want to get the surprise. I had the same problem with The Last of Us. You know what's coming, you know the kind of things you're going to experience. However, when you do something like stick it at the end and have a noise that makes people think, oh, that's Splinter Cell.
My memby berries went off.
Last shot of it, it's like, this doesn't need to be Splinter Cell. This could be anything, and you are essentially tricking people into watching it by saying it's Splinter Cell. I'm sorry, Alex, I didn't have a good time watching this.
No,
Me either.
I agree with what you're saying. This entire thing could quite easily have been a Hitman movie. It could have been... Yeah, it could have been John Wick's dad, I suppose. It could have been a Metal Gear
sorry, Alex,
series.
Do you need to explain what that is? Or...
No, I'm good. I've learned. I've been on Wikipedia. It definitely feels like it could have been any sort of Black Ops special agent movie. It didn't have to be a Splinter Cell. I don't feel like anyone was particularly pining for Splinter Cell content, to be honest. So I don't know.
When was the last Splinter Cell game?
They still make Splinter Cell games. They still do them.
The last... It's 2013.
I'm living in 2050.
The last game was 2013 and it was Blacklist.
Blacklisted for being shit.
Oh my god!
There is a to be announced remake of the original Splinter Cell, but that is still a to be announced. So
how can it be to be announced if we know about it?
Well, they've not said anything about the release schedule or anything like that. But given that Ubisoft have just closed a load of studios and cancelled a load of projects, I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of them.
Rip the Prince of Persia.
Exactly. Well, we didn't need another Prince of Persia, to be honest with you. But it just feels like there seems to be a real thing at the minute. And I was talking about this because... for anyone who's interested, it's just been announced that there is going to be a Netflix live-action adaptation of Gundam.
Interesting.
There seems to be this real thing at the minute of companies just doing... I'll answer your question in a minute, Mr. Sneaky. There seems to be this real need at the minute in the industry for creating anime, live-actions, rehashes, whatever you want, of old media, and I don't get it.
They've got it the wrong way around, though. Make Splinter Cell the live action and Gundam the anime.
Exactly, right? Well, Gundam was already an anime, but you know.
Yeah, but just do it with a budget.
The only thing worse than turning something live action into anime is turning something anime into live action.
Looking at you, Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell.
Do you know what? Like, Ghost in the Shell is one of my favourite anime in the world. I refuse to watch the live action.
Yeah, we have 2 tables in our office at work that are designed by the guy who wrote Ghost in the Shell.
What do you mean you have 2 tables designed?
Yeah, like the guy who wrote
table's a table, Tim.
Yeah, like the graphic art on it is designed by the guy who did Ghost in the
This
Shell.
table has 7 legs and it's upside down and Scarlett Johansson is in it.
I'll send you a photo
Joey,
of the
you
tables
had a
tomorrow.
question.
No, my point was about making real life things anime and how stupid it is.
But it does seem like... And, some of them have been okay. Fallout's obviously done really well.
Fallout's great.
The One Piece did quite well. But in amongst those few that are really good, there's just shit. And I'm not saying Splinter Cell is shit. I enjoyed it. But...
Sounds like...
Can I...
Genuinely did. I enjoyed it as an espionage assassin anime. I didn't enjoy it as a Splinter Cell thing. They could have taken the Splinter Cell out and it would have been just as enjoyable.
Can I ask something about the production of this show? Well, I'm hoping you guys can provide me with an answer here.
No, next question, Joey.
Alright.
Go on. Sorry, Tim.
Was this 2D animated or was it 3D models?
2D animated, I think.
I think it's 3D models. Because, I'm looking at the faces, and by the way, the faces in this show of... I'm not going to be like, oh, I need everyone to be a beautiful fucking model. But some of the faces in the show are really unappealing to watch be animated, especially with, the mouth movements, where it's it looks like just texture morphing, which is not a good look.
So...
Would you have preferred they were flappy head like South Park?
I would love it if they were flappy heads like South Park.
Hey,
or the fish news anchor from SpongeBob.
Yes.
Tim, to answer your question... FOST is a studio of excellence specialising in 2D animation.
It looked like shonky 3D models.
Yeah.
The fight scenes, for the most part, were pretty well choreographed and pretty well paced, for the most part. But then you'll get some of the conversation pieces, and while the dialogue itself is well paced, some of the body movements in there are really, really off base. There's a whole scene where we meet Thunder, who is a guy running the hacker who's running the animal shelter in Canada. Half the conversation is her name Diane, the lady who runs the thing? Yeah, she goes, no. Oh, sorry, her. She goes,
Grim runs Fourth Echelon. Diana is the leader of the Shetlands.
Sorry, yes, you're right. Grim goes, she's like, no, I'm not taking no for an answer. And quite a well-delivered line from the voice actor. But then the animators have, done this whole prodding of the chest thing, way too late. And then Thunder goes, wait a minute, did you say phones? And then he just snaps her phone in half and goes, right, we're going to America. Or whatever the fuck he says. But, it's just really flatly presented in some of the dialogue scenes. And I'm not going to be one of these people that's I need to be all action all the time, but I need to be well animated all the time if you're making an animation.
Don't make animation.
Stop it, Japan.
Stop it now. That's my take. I want to watch only live action versions of things like them. Is it Attack on Titan that has that terrible live action version?
JoJo's has got a terrible live action movie. I know that much.
Death Note has a terrible live action.
Do you know it's
Bleach
wild?
has a terrible live action.
Do you know it's wild that in the live action Death Note, which had Willem Dafoe in it as Ryuk, the Shin Megami, that he of all people was the best cast in that movie.
It's bad, isn't it, when that's the case?
I like Willem Dafoe, but he is not Ryuk. He's about as Ryuk as he is the Green Goblin from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
We're doing that thing again where we didn't really enjoy something, so we talk about everything else but it.
Yes, let's get back on topic.
Okay, right. So, one thing that they could have done, changed, or otherwise not done that would have made it more enjoyable for you, Joey.
Live action.
Tim.
Include more Splinter Cell elements, not just the Bew in the last episode.
What about you, Alex?
I think live action would have done it, or a better studio, a better animation studio, because, if you look at FOST's previous work, like I said, it is all very hand-drawn children's book animation, and for what that is, it looks good. They've then tried to do this, and it's not a translatable skill. I think if someone like the studio that did Attack on Titan, was it Mappa or was it
Mappa?
Trigger?
Even I know.
If Mappa or Trigger did it, I think it would have been a lot better.
So imagine this story told in the John Wick style and
It'd be great.
universe. It would be fucking excellent.
And it's not like the writer director is any stranger to this because he fucking made John Wick.
Yeah, obviously that would require a much bigger budget, but
It's not like I would say it's not like Ubisoft.
You do have to wonder a little bit how much of FOST getting the job for it was someone high up in Ubisoft going, My son runs an animation studio. Let's give it to them.
I think
That's
it's
not to
probably
discredit
more
him.
likely that it's my son likes anime.
Well, that's not to discredit the production team behind this. I think they did well with what they have for the most
Yes.
part. Like, in terms of the animation, most of it is solid. Yes, most of like the audio, like the voice acting in this, pretty damn good. I would go as far as to say, but it didn't meet the mark of a Splinter Cell game. It met the mark of a tactical espionage series, but not a Splinter Cell one.
I was trying to look up the budget for this, but I can't find it.
It's in euros. That's the problem.
They don't exist.
Yeah,
They're in Verdansk.
euro, more like euro. No thanks.
Well done, Tim. I like that.
Thank you. More like you're
Are
joking.
you gonna wait season 2?
Unless I'm made to on this podcast, no.
No. Even if I'm made to on this podcast, no.
Oh no,
thing is,
Joey's ill for that episode.
The thing is, I thought about being ill for this one. The thing is, people must have liked it because it's greenlit so quickly. What am I missing?
It's got a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb and like a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
Which isn't bad.
That's pretty. Like the Rotten Tomatoes one is pretty good. That's pretty good. But I didn't get it. I'd probably give like 78% out of 100 on the final episode, but everything else is like a solid 40.
The last important question: where are we putting Christopher Walken?
Sam
He's
Fisher.
kaiju. He's kaiju.
He's not kaiju. Don't be disrespectful to Christopher Walken.
I thought you were going to say don't be disrespectful to Kaiju.
No.
No, I would. Do you know what? Christopher Walken as Diana Shetland could be really funny.
Xanadu.
Wait, no, the Russian torturer guy. I forget his name. With
Oh
the
my
eye patch.
god, Creamy or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
the
Canary.
creamy man, the milkman. That's him.
Christopher Walken, the milkman.
I've got your
What
milk
has this
for you.
become?
Add an eye patch.
What has this become? Poor
Shambles.
It's
Christopher
like you say. It's
Walken.
like you say, Joy. We've done the thing where we didn't particularly enjoy it, and we've just gone a bit mental. So, I think unless there's any final things to say, gents.
I don't think I'll be playing a Splinter Cell game based off of this.
No, luckily the Splinter Cell games are based off Splinter Cell books, not this.
Wow.
That's those movies with
Joey.
words, Joey.
Sorry.
And a book is movie with words but no picture.
I don't know what that words thing you said is.
They're funny little. You know the little squiggles that you see on the road signs you ignore.
Yeah.
They're
Them.
words.
My horse reads them now.
That's a 2PFP reference.
What we doing on the next cutscenes, Joey?
We're not
I
announcing
thought we
these
weren't
episodes.
doing this anymore. We're watching Minecraft because that's funny. Chicken jockey, bye.
Lava.
Bye,
Chicken.
everyone. Tim, say goodbye. Don't be rude.
Bye.
Do we put the song at the end of these?
Yeah,
Yes.
we always do.
Chicken jockey.
Yeah, just keep vamping while I find it. Thank you.
Tim, what other memes are from the Minecraft movie?
The potato chip factory or whatever
Why
it was
won't
at the
you
beginning.
play?
And I am Steve.
Joey got the popcorn ready. Alex got the notes in hand. Tim's got puns that fly like confetti. They're your go-to movie band. Video game movie club. Laugh until the credits roll. Joey Alex, Tim will dub. Scenes that make you lose control.
Cutscenes is done, done, done. No, we didn't have any fun. Splinter Cell was shit. Come back next time for Jack Black's tits.
It's